The 1980s were the era of action films that changed the world of movie making. Here we have chosen the top 10 action flicks that left their mark on audiences and the culture forever. Let us know in the comments which action movies you loved, and if we forgot to include a top 10 contender from the list. Remember, these are only the action films from the 80s that we are considering. Number 1 on our list is Predator. Predator was one of the great hits of the 80s with a budget of $15 million, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and bringing in a huge box office of $98 million worldwide. Audiences loved the story of Dutch, a soldier who the United States government hires to undergo a secret mission to save the lives of a group of politicians who found themselves trapped in Guatemala. But things take a strange turn when Dutch and his team arrive in South America. After a string of mysterious deaths, they figure out that they are being hunted by what can only be a greater predator than themselves, as it displays superhuman strength and the ability to disappear into the environment around them. This film would prove so popular that it would become a successful franchise. Number 2 on our list is Die Hard. Die Hard is an action-packed adventure that stars the unforgettable Bruce Willis. This film can be labeled both the greatest action movie and the greatest Christmas movie all rolled into one. It brought in $141 million worldwide on a budget of only $25 million. At the time, Willis was paid a salary of $5 million, making him one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood for his portrayal of New York police officer John McClane. Audiences were captivated by watching John McClane save his family after they were taken hostage by terrorists attacking the holiday party they were attending. His decision to take matters into his own hands and the layers and cleverness of the writing make this one of the best films of all time. Receiving 4 Academy Award nominations, even critics couldn't deny the greatness of this action movie. Number 3 on our list is Top Gun. Top Gun is one of the biggest blockbuster hits in history. Starring the megastar Tom Cruise, this 80s action icon broke records with his $15 million budget that raked in $357 million at the box office. This movie ignited the dreams of thousands of young men and women to pursue careers as pilots, dreaming of being like the fiery fighter pilot Maverick, who attends the Top Gun Naval Fighter Weapons School, where only the greatest pilots are sent to master their flying skills.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our commanding officer at Top Gun. The very first man to win the Top Gun trophy. Will not find a finer fighter pilot anywhere in the world.
Following his journey, we see him overcome the odds to chase love and the spot of top fighter pilot.
Great, that would be very, very comfortable, yeah.
It could be.
This film is the definition of an all-time great. As its latest installment, Top Gun Maverick was one of the biggest films of 2022, bringing in $1.5 billion at the box office. Audiences haven't had enough of Top Gun just yet. Number 4 on our list is Roadhouse. Roadhouse stars the 80s heartthrob, Patrick Swayze, who portrays a legendary and highly intelligent bouncer, Dalton, at the Double Deuce, the meanest bar in the South. Dalton is hired to deter unsavory elements from ruining the bar and get it back in business. He is more than capable of cleaning up the rough and troublesome people who linger around the bar, taking over the security detail as if it's second nature. However, he begins to run into some problems when his latest love interest, the beautiful Dr. Clay, puts him in the crosshairs of the local crime lord. Bringing in $60 million at the box office, this action film is a classic with a happily ever after. Number 5 on our list is First Blood, Rambo. First Blood stars action legend Sylvester Stallone as Vietnam War veteran John Rambo. This franchise is about one man's journey as he reconnects with his past.
Excuse me, can you tell me this where Delmar Barry lives?
He ain't here.
Things take a turn for the worse when he is met with an intolerant and cruel sheriff.
They see some ID. All right, you're under arrest. You hear me? Now put your hands on the car. Now you put your hands on the car and you spread them.
As he searches for an old friend. His PTSD takes hold when the sheriff and his officers restrain him, and he retaliates with all the force of his experiences as a soldier. He manages to turn the tables on his tormentors, and it will take a miracle to escape Rambo's revenge. With a modest budget of $15 million, this film exceeded expectations with its $125 million box office. Number 6 on our list is Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop is a mixture of action and comedy. As it starts a franchise that's still alive and well today. Starring one of the funniest men of the last century, Eddie Murphy, this action film has recently been remade for Netflix. However, nothing can beat the original, where we follow a rebellious Detroit cop, Axel Foley, played by Eddie Murphy, as he embarks on a journey to uncover the truth behind his friend's murder and follows the clues to Beverly Hills. Of course, this is not a sanctioned investigation, so he does all this under the guise that he is on a well-earned vacation. We follow along as he has to overcome meddling police and dangerous obstacles to get to the truth behind his friend's demise, and the culprit may be closer than anyone thinks. With a budget of only $13 million, this surprise hit brought in $234 million at the box office. Number 7 on our list is Alien. Alien, starring Sigourney Weaver, was a standout for its female lead in a genre dominated by men. This dynamic character brings heart to an action film with more than a few horror elements. This story follows Ellen Ripley, who, along with her crew, is awakened from a cryosleep on the starship Nostromo, which is floating through deep space. They come across an unknown alien spaceship that they decide to investigate. Inside is where they come across a nest of eggs. However, things only take a turn for the terrifying when one of the crew prods an egg and an organism leaps out and attaches to his face, making him fall into a coma. Against quarantine protocol, they bring the crew member back to their ship. Eventually, this organism falls off and dies, awakening the comatose member. But in a shocking scene, an alien bursts out of his chest, killing him and running loose on the ship. This is where the real horror begins, as they fight for survival against this aggressive and unknown alien. This $180 million box office hit has spawned various sequels and merchandise that are still going strong today. Number 8 on our list is Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile Dundee, directed by Peter Feynman, follows a New York reporter, Sue Charlton, who is chasing an interview with the mythical Mike Dundee in the heart of Australia. After an unforgettable time in the outback with him, she feels herself starting to fall for him, so decides to bring him back home with her to the Big Apple. Mike is in awe of the modern and fast-paced New York, interacting with the fascinating and glamorous people of the big city.
G'day. Mick Dundee from Australia. How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
This heartwarming flick ends with Sue needing to make a choice: follow the wild Mick or stay with her big city fiancé? With a stunningly low budget of $8 million, this film brought in a shocking $328 million. Number 9 on our list is Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark changed the film landscape forever when it was first released. Directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Harrison Ford, this epic adventure follows the archaeologist Indiana Jones. We begin this iconic film with the United States government hiring Indiana Jones to locate the Ark of the Covenant before it can fall into the hands of Nazis. This relic containing great power is too valuable to lose. However, nothing about this journey is that easy, as Indiana battles internal and external obstacles like a phobia of snakes and vengeful ex-lovers. This film will have the audience on the edge of their seats until the end. With a budget of $20 million, this legendary film raked in the big bucks with a box office of $390 million. Number 10 on our list is Lethal Weapon. Starring the infamous Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon was one of the top films of the decade, with its compelling characters and exciting plot. We follow two mismatched cops who are on a mission to stop some drug smugglers as they learn to get along and put aside their differences. However, some of their crazy methods of busting crime end up saving the day, no matter how unorthodox the plans. bringing in a box office of $120 million on a budget of only $15 million. This film would go on to spawn games, sequels, and merchandise, and is still referenced to this day. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you don't want to miss new content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments down below if we missed an iconic flick, and in what order you would rank these star-studded action movies. Don't forget to turn notifications on. We may just hear you out and update our list.